Happy New Year, everyone. We're back and ready to kick off 2025 by diving into Arsenal's 3-1 win against Brentford.
A comeback win to start the year.
Right. You might be thinking, wait, a comeback? I thought they were doing pretty well this season.
Exactly.
And that's what makes this match so interesting, you know?
Yeah.
They had a bit of a rocky start
For sure.
at Brentford's Gtech Community Stadium on New Year's Day, but ultimately, they showed why they are contenders for the title this year.
They did, yeah.
So we'll break down how Brentford actually took control early in the match. We'll talk about a 17-year-old making his Premier League debut for Arsenal.
Wow, okay.
And a familiar face in goal for the Gunners, facing his old team.
I was intrigued.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So I think the thing that's interesting here is that many people saw Arsenal as the favorites going into this match.
Yeah, definitely.
But Brentford, under Thomas Frank, I mean, they really kind of flipped the script.
He did.
Early on. Their energy, their tactics, it was like they had everything.
Spot on, yeah.
Spot on, exactly.
And they came out so strong.
They were relentless.
Yeah.
And that first goal in the 12th minute was a perfect example of this. It starts with Arsenal's captain, Odegaard, making a rare mistake.
Okay.
And Damsgaard pounces on that, slips a perfect through ball to Mbeumo.
Beautiful ball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful ball.
Right to his feet.
And Mbeumo, he didn't even think twice. He just
cut inside,
bam.
Beat Raya at the near post.
Yeah.
Now, for our listeners who maybe aren't as familiar with the terminology, the near post is the side of the goal closest to the shooter.
Right, exactly.
So he just slots it right in.
And what surprised me, honestly, was Raya's reaction.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. He was a bit slow off the mark.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder, right, if facing his former team at his old stomping ground, if that got to him mentally.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking the same thing. Because we know goalkeepers, they have those mental battles.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when it comes to situations like this.
For sure.
You know, going back to your old club.
Yeah, the pressure is on.
And the thing is, it almost happened again just a few minutes later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Raya almost fumbled another shot from Mbeumo.
Oh, no.
But he managed to make a save, sort of a desperate save.
Wow.
But if that had gone in, Brentford would have been up 2-0.
It would have been a completely different game.
Oh, yeah.
It really shows you how even the smallest error can completely shift the entire momentum of a match.
It really is a game of inches, isn't it?
It is. It is. Those fine margins.
Yeah.
But even with Brentford's super strong start, Arsenal still managed to pull themselves level.
They did.
Partey takes a shot from distance, forces Flecken into a save.
Okay.
But that rebound falls right to Gabriel Jesus.
Oh, he's been on fire lately.
And he heads it in for the equalizer.
Love to see that.
This goal was crucial for Arsenal. It really got them back in the game. And speaking of Gabriel Jesus, I mean, we have to talk about his recent form.
Yeah, 6 goals in his last 4 games. The man's unstoppable.
He's on a tear.
He is.
What's really impressed me, though, it's not just the finishing.
Right.
It's his movement off the ball, constantly finding space.
He really makes himself available, doesn't he?
He does.
It's like he's always in the right place at the right time.
I mean, do you think that positioning is something that Arteta specifically worked on with him? Or is it more just Jesus's individual awareness?
I think it's probably a combination of both, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Arteta's system really emphasizes fluid movement, you know?
Right.
Creating those overloads in the attacking third.
Makes sense.
But you can't deny Jesus's natural instincts as a striker.
He just has that knack.
He does.
For anticipating where the ball will land and exploiting gaps in the defense.
Yeah, he's a real threat.
But even with that equalizer, going into halftime, they were, I don't know.
They weren't quite clicking, were they?
They weren't quite clicking.
Yeah.
It wasn't the dominant Arsenal we've come to expect this season.
No, for sure.
They just weren't quite there yet.
Yeah, something was off.
But whatever Arteta said during that halftime team talk, it must have lit a fire under them.
He must have given them a good one.
Because they came out for that second half.
Oh, yeah.
Looking like a totally different team.
It was a complete turnaround.
Complete turnaround.
Night and day.
And then, bam, 5 minutes into the second half, they take the lead.
Yeah.
Brentford fails to clear a corner.
Right.
Flecken completely misjudges the ball in the air.
Oh, that's never good.
And Mikel Merino, he's just there, smashes that ball into the net from close range.
He was ready.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
And that, my friend, is Arsenal's set-piece strength on full display.
For anyone listening who might not be totally familiar, when we say set pieces, we're talking about things like free kicks and corner kicks. In Arsenal this season, I mean, they have been so dangerous from these situations.
Oh, absolutely.
Their coach, Nicholas Jover,
This guy,
he has seriously revolutionized how they approach set pieces.
he's like the set-piece whisperer.
And this goal, it was like textbook, a perfect example of Jover's influence.
Textbook, yeah.
But they didn't stop there. Oh, no.
They kept the pressure on.
Just 8 minutes later, it's 3-1 Arsenal.
Wow.
So picture this. There's a scramble in the box. The ball falls to Martinelli.
He's got a knack for those loose balls.
He does.
Always seems to find them.
And boom, he just unleashes this powerful shot past Flecken.
No chance for Flecken there.
No chance. It was clinical. It was the goal that really sealed the deal for Arsenal.
Yeah, that was the dagger.
That was it. The momentum completely shifted.
You could feel it in the stadium.
After that goal, Brentford, they kind of seemed to just lose their energy.
It's like they deflated.
And Arsenal, they kept their composure, controlled the rest of the game.
Yeah, experience and resilience.
And speaking of composure, we have got to talk about Ethan Nwaneri.
This kid,
Making his Premier League debut
at 17.
at 17 years old in a tough away game. And I mean, the kid was phenomenal.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
The confidence to just step onto that pitch at that age and perform at that level.
Especially in a match like this.
Seriously. And it's not just that he was out there. He played a key role in 2 of Arsenal's goals.
Oh, yeah.
It was his corner that led to Merino's goal, and he delivered the cross for Martinelli's goal.
He had a hand in everything.
Exactly. And that shows you not just his talent, but Arteta's belief in him.
Yeah, to give a 17-year-old his debut in a match that important.
It says a lot.
It really does. It speaks volumes about the depth and the potential of this Arsenal squad.
And their youth development program, too.
Absolutely.
But, you know, while Nwaneri was making a splash, David Raya's return to Brentford, well,
It was a bit more complicated, wasn't it?
a little bit more of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I mean, he did make some really crucial saves.
He did.
Kept Arsenal in the game. But those early jitters, especially that first goal, how he was caught out.
Yeah, I bet that's still on his mind.
I mean, can you imagine the pressure?
Going back to your old club, trying to prove yourself.
But overall, though, I
Yeah.
think it was a solid performance.
Yeah, solid performance for sure.
So, to recap, Arsenal wins 3-1, a hard-fought victory that sends them back up to second place in the table, 6 points behind Liverpool.
6 points. Yeah.
Brentford stays in 12th, but that strong first half they had.
They really showed what they're capable of.
They did. It shows they can challenge the top teams.
Definitely.
Now, this match, it raises a bigger question for me.
Okay, I'm
Seeing Arsenal fight back like this, even without their star player, Bukayo Saka,
Yeah, he's a big miss.
does this performance convince you they have what it takes to stay in this title race?
It's a good sign, a really good sign.
Yeah.
This win shows their resilience, their ability to adapt. They didn't let Brentford's early dominance rattle them, and they found a way to win, even without a key player like Saka.
And that adaptability is going to be so important in a long season like this.
Oh, absolutely.
But the Premier League, I mean,
Anything can happen.
it's full of surprises.
That's what keeps us coming back, right?
Exactly.
Every single match.
And you never know.
Any team can beat any other team on any given day.
You said it. And I mean, think about all the other factors too that could come into play.
Oh, yeah.
Injuries.
Suspensions.
The January transfer window.
Oh, that's always a wild card.
Right. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely.
And any one of those things
Anyone.
could have a huge impact on the title race.
Absolutely.
Speaking of adapting, though, I'm curious to see how Brentford responds after this loss.
Yeah, they were brilliant in that first half.
They were.
So can they find a way to bottle that energy? Maintain that intensity for a full 90 minutes?
That's the big question.
It is.
And what about Thomas Frank, their manager?
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Will we see any tactical tweaks, you think, for their next match?
I wouldn't be surprised. He's a very astute tactician.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's already thinking about how to exploit the weaknesses of their next opponent.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to watch how both teams
Adapt and evolve.
as the season goes on.
Absolutely.
All right, so for you, what stood out the most from this match?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
And what are you most curious about going forward?
For me, it has to be Nwaneri's debut.
It was incredible.
To see a 17-year-old come in and make that kind of impact, I mean, it's just incredible.
Yes.
I'm really eager to see if he can keep developing.
Yeah.
earn a regular spot in that starting lineup.
That would be something.
It would.
And as for the bigger picture, this title race.
It's wide open.
It is.
Can Arsenal keep this up and challenge Liverpool? Can Brentford continue to be that team that upsets the top dogs?
So many questions.
There's still so much to play for.
You've hit the nail on the head. This match was just a taste of what's to come this Premier League season.
Just a taste.
There will be twists, there will be turns, upsets, triumphs, and you know what?
What's that?
We'll be here to break it all down for you.
Always.
We've dissected this comeback win, analyzed the key players, talked about what it all means for both teams.
And covered it all.
But, as always, we want you to keep thinking.
Yeah, keep those brains working.
Keep exploring, and most importantly, keep enjoying this beautiful game.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time.
See you then.